Thanks for staying with us. Nigerians on social media have dug up an old video of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, where he strongly criticized the practice of sending children abroad to study certain courses. The video has resurfaced just days after his son graduated with a master's degree in law from King's College, London. In the clip, Wike, then a sitting governor, questioned the rationale behind studying courses like law, economics, and English outside Nigeria, insisting that local universities are well equipped. In his words, he said, "Some of these courses, you don't need to send them abroad. Why do I want to send somebody who wants to read law overseas when we have very good faculties in these areas in Nigerian universities?" This has Nigerians talking about whether politicians really practice what they preach. Ladies, what are your thoughts?
Is that a question?
Yes. So
you know the answer, no.
That we should be going home then.
No.
You know one thing I like about Nigerians, they will dig you out. Anything you have ever said on this table, any day you go against it, they will fish it out. So this video apparently came out when they said, they sat back and they saw graduation. But I remember when this man was advising us, don't send your children to go and study things.
Was that
like
not when he
English,
was commissioning the River State University
at the time? Yes.
And the Faculty of Law that he had built massive building?
Yes.
So because law is in the conversation.
Don't be biased here.
No, because law is what we are discussing.
Okay.
I want to attest to Nigerian universities being very equipped to teach it. Because law is local. Wherever you like, if you like, go over there and study it. You come back to study to be able to practice.
Exactly.
In some countries, you study per state safe. So particularly, I think the US, every state you write a bar exam per state to qualify to practice.
Wow.
And so the wahala of the double reading safe, go really help you like that. If you want to practice there, you have studied here, you go back there, take a few courses locally before you even take the bar exams. Here too, if you study, you come as a foreign student. They call them bar 1 before they do bar 2, or bar 2 before they do bar 1. And then they come here. They will first of all do a 6 months Nigerian law course.
First,
so, yes, before they can. That's at the law school before they can then join us. So it's really local, and because of the kind of system we have, really, if you were to practice here, if that's your idea, law here is better for Nigerians. Really.
May I ask
It's just that
I want to ask Nima.
It's an elite thing for Nigerian children to study abroad. Everybody that is rushing abroad is not because there are no local options, even in the private universities. It's because I don't want strike, I don't want, and then some people, it's just a thing of class.
Okay, Nima,
my child just came back from Cambridge, just got back from Oxford.
Came back.
Okay, I want to ask, when they have studied abroad and you put them, beside a Nigerian who studied locally, is there any difference in,
Depends on where you're checking. So if it's about, if they studied abroad and somebody that studied locally, and the person
and I'm
comes
talking
here,
of law specifically,
and the person abroad comes here and does not get abreast of law here, you will see the difference.
He will flop.
There's a difference. But if a Nigerian, the way we are wired, were to study here and cross over, they do thrive. Nigerians are members of the Queen's Bench. They're practicing everywhere in the world.
Do you treat them differently? Do you feel like, this one is coming from abroad, he has a...
No, in packaging, a lot of things work when you carry foreign degrees.
And foreign accents.
Yes, and foreign accents.
So let me come to your thoughts on this when you saw the video and to talk about
Okay, so politicians are not the most... we don't trust them to keep their word, and it's sad, but precedents, what we've seen, politicians have gone back on their words a lot. Politicians have never decamp, this other party, I'll never go there, and they would later say, I changed my mind, I go to the party. Today, a politician is talking against a particular person, like tweeting, doing interviews. A year from now, he has joined the campaign of the person and is marketing. He said, then I was blind, now I can see. So that's Nigerian politicians. So I do not take their words or their actions with a lot of, I don't put a lot of weight to it. It's disappointing because they are the ones that are managing the affairs of our country. But it's just that they've shown that antecedents over time. The one that shocked me was the price of his shoes. Like, people put out his shoes, the shoe of the graduate, the son, and they said he was wearing a particular shoe that cost about 2,000 something pounds. And then they now said what that cost is in naira. And the truth is, the country is experiencing hardship at a rate that the average Nigerian will tell you. I took the story this morning. Even those earning more, statistically, what your 1 million naira can do 3 years ago, your 1 million naira, your 3 million naira is struggling to do the same thing. That is the Nigeria we are in. And yet, data is showing, according to the story I took last week, that Nigerians are spending more money, even as the country, the people they say the country had. Nigerians are spending more money to send their children to school abroad and sending their for healthcare abroad. Who are those Nigerians? That's the question, and we're seeing them. 1%. We're seeing them. It is the privileged few. The privileged few. Your voice is always very loud in shouting that politicians should send their children to school in Nigeria. We've all said it on the show at one point or the other that the best way to improve our educational sector is to have our politicians send their children to school in Nigeria. Until we do that, we're not going to see much difference. And we cannot blame them because there's no law and they will not pass that law. I'm yet to see any assembly that will pass the law criminalizing them or penalizing them from sending their children abroad for education. If they can afford it based on their personal business. So that means... They
won't be in positions of power because we cannot separate personal business and...
Personal business as per, before I went into politics, I had this oil company.
Once you get into politics, because we can't separate it. Do you understand? We cannot separate it. Personal business, while as a private, you people are private individuals, citizens right now. You're running your own businesses. You can choose to.
But if I want to serve this country, I shouldn't be punished.
No, it's not punishment. Oh, you see it as punishment. So we are going to schools here. So we have been punished.
Yeah. So for me, my thought is, for me, because there's no law.
There's no sin.
Right, so they are not doing anything wrong, but ethically, morally, I guess it does not look well. And because of that, we can tell why we have issues in our country. It seems like we're not prepared. We're not ready yet. When we are ready to make this country work, we know what to do. Honestly. But we're not ready to make those sort of sacrifices yet. So because there's no law, has he done anything wrong criminally? No. He personally could have thought, I don't want my child to study abroad. The wife will say, for what? With who? Maybe go and have another child somewhere, not with my child, please. I can afford it. We can afford it. So I can understand the sort of conversations that can go on in the family. I remember the former governor of Kaduna State that put his little boy in public school. We heard that child was in that school for a bit. After, when they quietly removed the child, nobody heard that the child was... I'm sure the mother did not let that governor rest. Like, is this my own child want to use as an experiment? I am not. So I get it, and I know that many Nigerians who, and it's not just very rich Nigerians who are sending their children abroad. There are many parents who are putting coins together and doing their best because they just want the best for their children. Earlier I was asking Nima, like how, if it was law specifically, but concerning other subjects as well, courses as well. How are you treated when you come back to your country when you have a foreign degree? That's it. So for that's what parents are paying for. You're coming back and then you're given a sort of privilege. Then you almost like a privilege because you're coming back with a foreign degree. There's also a sort of treatment. There's also a way that you are being looked at because of that, and it helps open some doors that someone who has studied locally does not get the opportunity to access. So those are the things that people are paying for. So until the country decides that it does not matter where you get your degrees from, everybody comes there is the same as everyone else, then you see that people may not go all the way out. But also there's another reason why people are going out, not just come back and work in the country, is that the world is the global village right now. Everybody's looking for better opportunities everywhere. And if for any reason today they say, come and study, if you study in ABU Zaria, this particular course, this is what you can get anywhere in the world. You will see people from all over the world coming to Nigerian universities. So there's a lot that we need to do as a country that is ready and prepared to do better.
Let's take this call.
Okay.
I'll come to you. We have Yakub from Dokbemu. Good morning, Yakub.
Yeah, good morning, Obi.
Good morning.
And Mama Deji, good morning. Good morning. And then,
Good morning, Yakub.
I greet you all. Guys, as you can see, the reason why our university is not going to be worked the way we want. This is in fact, I really love what Sister Topper said earlier. A politician that claims to be upright. In fact, for the fact that I'm his fans anyway, because he's a working minister, he's a working governor before he became a minister, that's why I'm his fans. But I was saying that you were former saying that nobody should send his children out of this country if you're a politician. But look at what happened now. Yeah. If I people only weekly, probably let's say 80% of them, they send their children out of this country to go and study. You know why? Why? Because they know there's not going to be a strike over there. And then when their children finish, they will still ask them to come back to come and lead us. That is why nobody, as you rightly said earlier, those are our representatives and the Senate. They will never make a law criminalize that. They will never do that. Because all of them are thinking in their head, one day I'm going to become a governor, I'm going to become a minister. If I make this law now, the law is going to affect me. Let me not even chip this one in now. Could you imagine a serving minister? He knows what he's starting, and then he's trying to become a university owner. A first president has a school in this country, university. Why is it going to be a clash of interest? You become a politician, become a governor, the next thing that will be targeting is to own a school. And then meanwhile, the university lecturers are collecting salaries far below the councillors. Yeah. Far below the councillor. And then the professor that taught our children in the district school, they're collecting the salary below what councillor in this country is taking. See, the only thing that can solve this problem is a situation whereby we enact a law whereby criminalize you. If you are a politician, you dare not send your children out of this country. But failure to do so, no, we are nowhere to go. That's the truth. They will continue to do that. If there's no law, they will continue to do that. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Let me ask this question. Is this really about hypocrisy or an unspoken admission by the leaders themselves that they do not trust the system that they lead?
It's the same thing. There's the hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy is
even private. They say the owner of private schools in Nigeria are having their children study abroad.
Wow.
But you own the private school, but your children are not in your private school. So there are many layers to the issue, and sad as it is, now lament we go lament. It's not going to make any difference per se. Maybe it shouldn't have posted. You know, sometimes people. I'm sure there are other graduates other politicians whose children graduated that they didn't post.
Sometimes it's not that they post. Sometimes people take pictures of them.
Their children also post. There are news items anywhere they go.
Imagine you go for your own child's graduation and then you post.
You just take
it's not Wike. The Wike is not the category we post. Whether newscaster cast it, he will cast.
We have an Okpeyemi from Aleppo. Good morning, Okpeyemi.
Hello, good
Arepo, Ogun State. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm happy to be connected. I've been an ardent listener.
Oh, wow.
But this is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. So on the topic at hand, even the previous one, we can see our deficit in the governance over time. It is sad that people that occupy our political offices are two-mouthed people. They say one thing and they do the other side of what they've always been saying. I'm not against a government official or anybody sending their children abroad. It is a normal thing. It should be a normal thing for everybody who can afford it. But then what is the state of our institutions across every state? What have they been doing over time? We have been governor, from chairman to governor to deputy minister now. He should come out and tell us how many state schools he has built, what he has done. It's not about gaslighting, doing roads and all of this infrastructure. I say in Ogun State, I can barely see public school around me. Barely. Public school. Is it health we want to talk about? We use private facilities. So it is not a crime for them to send their children to school. But doing it at this time and putting it on our faces, people that cannot afford it, people are dropping into poverty by the day.
You say it's not a crime. Let me ask you a question. You say it's not a crime, but it's our taxpayers' money now. Don't you think so?
Yeah,
we cannot separate
my
it.
take is, if they are doing it legitimately, based on what they are earning, it is not a crime. But doing it from what from the money they are getting illegitimately is a crime. So don't let us miss it.
Yeah, but how do we determine the money they are getting legitimately and the one they are getting illegitimately?
That is just the sad part of it.
That's the job of the CCB.
We cannot trust them over time.
Exactly.
There is this trust deficit.
Yes.
We don't trust our politicians.
Yes.
And again, sorry, please, quickly, Nigerians should be abroad to those people over there. How many foreigners we have? How many foreigners we have in our institution? That's
not anymore.
They have failed.
Not anymore. Thank you so much for your contribution. Yeah, so I understand what he's trying to say, but I am still of the opinion that if you are in a position of authority to instill trust in whatever you are doing, whatever you are pushing, is to use the same thing that you are doing. When you feel like I am so rich, I can afford to do anything, then you will not take up leadership positions. You will not take up leadership. You stay as your business consultant or whatever it is, and send your children. Nobody is going to disturb private people.
It won't make much of a difference.
No, it will make a difference. You know why? Let me tell you why it will make a difference. Then you can tell me why you think it will make a difference. If the governors and the senators and the leaders have their children in our schools, you think those schools will not work well? They will work well. So if they use our hospitals, you think the hospitals will not work well? They will work well because they are using it. And because naturally human beings are selfish, you want where you used to be one of the best. You will put in the effort that is needed to be put in to make it work.
Yeah. So that point we have always made, and I think is actually
that's
we
the
all
only
know. But what I'm trying to say is, because we're talking about Wike here, and if we single out one person, whether a person does it or not, it will not make much of a difference. It has to be a system.
Yes,
it has to be in the law. If you say some people should take up the thing, a private individual obligation to do it, it will not make much of a difference. So that's what I'm saying. It has to be made a law. You know, I look at leaders in other countries, especially the United Kingdom and the United States, and you hear them talk about the schools that they go. They're usually local schools, schools that are local to them in their country. A few of them will maybe go to the UK or something like that, but all for more education.
Additional.
But there's a thing of pride to say this person went to this American school, and the 3 other presidents came from that American school, or this one too, and then their children are in those schools. So those are the sort of legacies that we need to see with our education as well. You know, so one person to do it, I promise you, will not make a difference. In fact, the person will feel cheated if the person does it with his children, and then another person comes up and we're not ready. When we're ready, we know what to do.
We need it passed into law.
I need so let me talk, because our politicians have been saying these things since go make any difference.
Better than us.
So let us talk to the Nigerians. When Nigerians begin to feel, when they understand, right now there was a protest. South women are protesting that the federal government should speak up what's happening in Rivers State. You can see. All of you that protested, how many of you can afford to send your children abroad? If you get sick, which hospital are you going to go to? The people you are fighting over and killing yourself over, when their children were ripe for university, they send them abroad. If they cough, they go and take their cough medicine in London. So you are killing yourself, going on the street, protesting on behalf of politicians whose life is being, their medical record is in Obodo Oyinbo. Open your eye for yourself. Nobody needs to tell you. Do not become a pawn in what is going on, taking sides, fighting each other, fighting people in Rivers that are fighting themselves. Taking, I'm Wike, I am team Fubara. When in actual fact, Ati Wike, Ati Fubara, all of them, when the chips are down, the risk is on your own children. Fight for the governance in your state. Fight for the governance of your own country. Do not start taking partisan position, because it does not help us in any way. Let's hold our people accountable. Let's vote out people. Vote out people that you feel like they're not representing you. Don't sell your children's future for a box of noodles and a bag of rice. because that's what we're doing right now, and it's not helping us long term.
Nima, your final thoughts as we're going to our houses.
It's not the first time we've talked about it, and I don't see us changing anybody's choice of where they go.
Wow.
If Nigerians do not trust Nigerian universities, Nigerian universities will not qualify for top 100 universities in the world. That's the truth. If we do not, we who teach there, Nigerians who are teaching in Nigerian universities, do not carry the universities with the pride of Nigeria, nobody in the world will trust it and give it, you know, the place of top 100. Or the students who are in the school. You know, it's almost as if we come in and then when we call the place, we forget that the people make the place. And we call Nigeria, Nigeria, forget ourselves. I call with pride the university I attended because I learned the best from the best.
Yeah.
And I was not taught by a foreigner. And everything that I have learned has proven to be generally applicable everywhere in the world. And the truth is that packaging with a foreign university would not have helped me in the career that I chose. So I do not understand, you know, the way we degrade and choose and degrade and choose and what we like. Our medicine is exportable,
yes,
but it's not good for us in our Nigeria. Our doctors are graduates, they're exportable quality, but they are not good for our local market. It is our choice to not treat it well. It is our choice to not value it. And it's our choice to put it where it is today. Our politicians, who are also members of society, we who are also members, we know how many people. Recently, was it Toko that took the news of how much was exported for foreign education, topping the list. It was ahead last week, topping the list. So Nigerians work hard and think, oh, no, not here. It can't be here. Our kids were caught in the war in Ukraine, studying there in Ukraine. At the time, was it because it was the best? It was because it was quicker. We do not want to create... We don't want to create Nigerian alternatives. We don't want Nigeria to thrive. We don't value it. We don't want our kids to go to school here. We don't want anything here to work. It is our mentality. You see us on the street, we dump our waste right outside. We will not do it in the country we value. We do not want it to work. We want our waste to be on the street. We want to be able to take a picture of it so that Aisha will go and say that they are beggars on the street. This is how we want our country, and this is how we have groomed our country. Until we want better. Only us can deliver ourselves.
Only us can deliver ourselves. Are we ready to deliver ourselves?
Only us.
But we're still going to be preaching this for the longest time.
We are waiting for our turn so that we too can do what they're doing.
Wow, God help us. So thank you so much, ladies, for your contribution. It's been quite enlightening to have this conversation. But I think we are saying that we are the only ones that can save ourselves. Nobody's coming to save us. So if we want our country to be recognized, we have to do better. We want our, professions, schools to be recognized everywhere else in the world. We have to do better. We have to be involved in it. We have to be a part of it, especially as leaders. You set the example. Growing up, we used to have commissioners' children in our classrooms, governors' children in our classrooms. Even in the university, I was in school with some governors' children and commissioners' children. Today, you don't see them anymore. Everybody is abroad. So we need to do better as Nigerians. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again for another fantastic show tomorrow. Bye-bye now.